Welcome back to Newsviews. My guests this morning are Laura Jane Hyde, the chief executive of Gilda's Club Chicago, and Caroline, a cancer survivor. And Caroline, we were just talking about some of the silver linings that can come out of a diagnosis like this. Again, nobody wants to hear it, but what are some of the positives that can come out of a cancer diagnosis?
Well, I've grown a lot as a person and learned a lot more about the value of my life. And while I wasn't thinking about that much as like a 2-year-old going through the treatments, more recently I've thought about it a lot and how lucky I am to be standing here and be able to have the experiences that I've had. I've been involved with Relay for Life for multiple years. When I was younger, we had a team that raised a decent amount of money, and at that event, my mom's old boss actually quit smoking on the spot. He saw the survivor lap and saw me and other survivors walking around and decided on the spot he was gonna quit smoking cigarettes. And that's been like 10, 12 years now. And he still has not touched a cigarette. I saw him a couple months ago. And so that was cool to hear.
What does that mean to you as a survivor to know that your story, sharing your story, which is a simple act, right, in some ways, has made a real difference in someone's life?
It's really cool. Like, I wouldn't wish cancer upon anybody, obviously, but going through that experience, if I had not gone through my experience and not had cancer, he would probably still be smoking cigarettes and still be going through that and putting himself at risk, and knowing that that one person was affected and changed by my story is meaningful, for sure.
And I think that speaks to Gilda's Club as well, in the sense that creating a community and a space for survivors and people who have been affected by cancer to share their stories can be so impactful.
And that's one of the first things that people do when they come to the club, as part of our process for making sure that we're finding out what type of resources, both that the club provides but that are in the community as well, are connected with the people that need them. And it really, someone can come to the club for the first time, and when they leave, their whole expression has changed. And they may cry, they may laugh. People just come as they are, and there's no judgment, and there's just a warm embrace that hopefully people feel, both, you know, physically, but just in terms of the environment that we've created because of everyone that comes through the door. I mean, this is life's grace at its finest, right?
I couldn't agree more. Knowing that a place like Gilda's Club is out here and creating that space to share stories and to, you know, provide an opportunity for you to put your experience into words, what did that do for you?
I've never really had the chance to sit down and put my story into words and just sit there and write it out and actually tell my story. And being able to read my essay last night to a room full of people who were affected by cancer was definitely a strong experience. And it meant a lot knowing that that whole room of people and everyone who read my essay was touched by my story. Yeah, it was cool.
What went through your mind as you're looking at their faces, and then after you were done, hearing the other stories as well?
It's just, it goes to show that everybody's story is different, but everybody has a story to share when it comes to cancer. There were the two categories: people who had personally had cancer and then people who had had cancer in their families. And just hearing the difference, but also the similarities of everyone going through those pains and hardships, but coming out a stronger person in the end.
There is a shared, right, I mean, it's a club nobody wants to join.
Absolutely.
But the people who are in it are incredibly strong. When you think about the people who have been touched by cancer or who have been diagnosed, I mean, talk about how inspirational they are, because they truly are.
Well, I've been with the club 20 years. I came 6 months after it opened, and I stay because it's the most incredible experience I've ever had, and it's never diminished. Every story has impact, and it's just it's a gift, and just like you said, like, working for a cancer organization doesn't sound like it would be a gift. It sounds like it would be really depressing, and it's not. It's quite the opposite. It gives you such faith and hope and grace and love. It's
It's truly inspirational. It really is.
It's a gift.
And thank you both so much for being here for Newsviews. We appreciate it, and we're so happy that we're able to share your story as well.